All right, we're on.
Hey there, playing around with technology again.
Yeah, we're goofing things up as usual.
It's been a minute.
Well, we didn't do one last week because we were just busy. I was in Disneyland last couple weeks.
Yes.
I had family in town, and then but I did post. I don't know if you saw in our Facebook group. I did post. I was drinking at Batu's Cantina, which is Oga's Cantina, and then I was also drinking at day drinking at what's the place called? Trader Sam's.
Trader
Tiki
Sam's.
Bar,
You're one of your favorites.
which is probably one of the coolest tiki bars in the world.
With that quiet lead in, we're going to call this one Vegas Day Drinkers, episode 18, Snippets of Las Vegas, where this week, as we record on a Wednesday, we're going to discuss Masters wrap-up, the passing of Vegas icon Elaine Wynn just yesterday. This coming weekend, WWE invades Las Vegas with WrestleMania at Allegiant Stadium.
Oh yeah.
Hooah.
Oh wait, was that the Kool-Aid Man?
You can see how this is going already, folks. Zaxby's on Blue Diamond just opened, creating a little fervor of drive-through madness.
We have the chicken trifecta or multifecta or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
We have all of them, the chicken.
There's no reason to starve in Las Vegas
No.
from fast food
No.
delicacies. Centerfolds closes across from the Virgin, but both of those have been rebranded, so we'll talk about what the original places were. And then Cheers
Are you saying
episode...
my centerfold has just been sold? My angel is a centerfold?
Yes. Cheers episode 11 we discussed, and private clubs. So how was Trader Sam's?
Always good. Like Kelly, the bartender there, he's a nighttime bartender, but he comes in around like 2 or 3 o'clock, so it's still day drinking. He's phenomenal. He's a great guy. He loves tiki culture. He loves Las Vegas tiki bars. Just a standout guy. And every time I see him, I have to remind him who I am because obviously he works at a very touristy bar. But yeah, standout guy. What are you doing, Chris?
We talked last week on the episode about the origination of the Tom Collins.
Yeah.
And I thought, why not be schmancy and make a Tom Collins?
And actually day drink on a day drinking podcast?
Day drink on a day drinking podcast.
Insane in the membrane.
Now, when I picked up the bottle of Old Tom Gin, it's a little bit more rare than London Dry.
Yeah.
Do you know the difference fundamentally?
Tell me, Chris. I need to be educated.
Oh, I don't know either.
Oh,
No, I do.
Fundamentally, I know you're obviously prepared. I like to let you take the lead on that.
Fundamentally, Old Tom is older than London Dry. London Dry made itself popular in the 19th century, most characteristically where London Dry is a little more juniper and botanical forward. Old Tom is going to be a little more sweet. It was kind of a crossover between the Dutch with the Genever and it transcended into the London Dry. So just as a topical. So
Eloquently put there, my friend.
well, if I can't be eloquent, I might as well be an ass.
So does that make me the ass?
That's a Shrek joke. All the setup.
But yeah, there it is.
You want to give him a little sound effect while I get this bottle open?
Sure. I got my
Look
my
at this,
fancy
kids.
coasters.
Oh.
And if you're just listening and not watching, that would be the sound of a transporter on Star Trek. I have transporter coasters.
Yes.
Pretty awesome.
Yes.
I am a nerd, just so you guys know.
Oh, this is true, kids.
My old podcast, I used to there was a drinking game. Anytime I would mention the fact that I worked at Star Trek Experience, you would take a drink. So there's that. I guess it's push button activated.
We have a little space limitation here. We're working within that. So we've got a bottle of Hayman's of London, Old Tom Gin. We're going to do a little simple syrup squeeze in there.
Nice. This is a turbinado simple syrup you made.
So if you guys see the color on camera, turbinado, I was just utilizing what I had in the cupboard. Fresh squeeze of lemon.
Awesome. I feel like you're like the Julia Childs of bartenders right now.
What do you mean?
You must first spank your salmon.
And that's not a euphemism for something else, folks.
It could be.
I love it when Darren spanks a salmon.
Well, you got to spank it before you
So
grill it.
we got some lemon juice in there, some club soda. I forgot the cherry for the garnish. How dare I? But this is the first drink that we've made on camera, at least.
Yeah, this is going to be, again, as our show grows, we will be continuing to do new and innovative things. This is lovely, Chris.
Yeah. It's a nice warm day in Las Vegas, so a nice refreshing cocktail. A little quick
stir.
spin, a little stirry.
Would you mind?
A little
Would you mind,
stirred
sir?
for the flurry.
I love that.
And then we'll just put a little lemon wheel garnish on it. Again, for the aromatic, if you will.
Nice.
Day drinking.
Yeah. Pinky's out, Chris?
Yeah, pinky's out.
I dare say that's delicious.
I mean, it's no Jägermeister, but it'll do the trick.
So if you didn't hear last week's episode, Tom Collins
Yeah,
was a joke,
right.
turn of the century,
Yes.
and it got made famous. So it went from London all the way to America.
Classic cocktail. Classic
So
recipe.
what came first, bathtub gin or Old Tom gin?
That's a good question.
I don't know. Bathtub gin was it a prohibition thing or was it pre-prohibition?
Well, I mean, you got to think Old Tom was pre-prohibition, so if that's the answer right there.
Perhaps.
Did you watch amongst your travels to and from the happiest place on earth? Did you catch any of the Masters last weekend?
I did not.
Do you know who won?
I know Rory McIlroy won.
Yeah, seems to be crowd favorite. So one of
Well,
the
the Irish
favorites.
guy, come on. I mean, like,
Yeah.
they're always, the Irish underdog, if you will.
As I'm
Even though
sure,
he's not an underdog.
if you haven't watched CBS Sports, ESPN, or any major sports channel in the last 48 to 72 hours, it was his career Grand Slam. One of 6 people in the history of golf have done it. The most
Nice.
recent one was Tiger Woods 25 years ago. So
Wow, impressive.
it's something that's not achieved very often, and obviously you could tell as his just expletive of joy as he hit that winning hole on the runoff
Nice.
on Sunday.
I do know a couple facts you may not know, and I find one of these to be very ironic, but I will continue. Ken Griffey Jr. was a licensed photographer for the Masters.
I saw that.
He's actually certified, I don't know what the proper, certified to be a photographer. So like that, he has a new career, even though, I mean, come on, he's Ken Griffey Jr. And I
Yeah.
guess it's just his passion. And apparently he took some wonderful pictures. I haven't seen him personally, but he's being lauded for it.
I mean, they've already been stamped by Getty Images, so online that's kind of the thing.
And another thing that I find, just the irony of it, I did not know this. I think you told me this, that the sandwiches at the Masters are still $1. They have the pimento
Yeah,
cheese.
I mean, it's seemed to hit a fervor of pace because the last few years they make note of it that if you have the opportunity to go to the Masters and it's something that many are not afforded, it's not something that you can purchase. It's bequeathed through the ages, so it's someone that's had it generationally, and so
So you could say it's almost like it's a you have to be rich, or in the know,
yeah, for sure.
The irony of the whole situation is like if you and I were to go to a sporting event, like say the Super Bowl,
Right.
which would be the equivalent, we would not be buying dollar sandwiches. We'd be buying $20 hot dogs,
Yeah.
and that's the irony to me. A bunch of people that are entitled getting dollar sandwiches.
But yeah, you have the pimento spread sandwich. Yeah, but the crazy thing is these people that go in there, like, our friends Whit and Rhonda went last year.
Yeah.
And what you maybe not spend in food, you guys go to the clubhouse because you don't know if and when you're going again.
Yeah.
My buddy Skip was bequeathed
And you
some
buy the
tickets a
merch?
couple years ago. Yeah, I mean, people just back trucks up because it's the only place in the world that you can buy officially licensed and merchandise Masters
Yeah.
stuff. And then if you're a fan, if your kids are a fan, if Barry's a fan, you're buying each of those polos and that all stacks
I
up.
saw a lot of Masters polos and hats last weekend at the airport.
yeah.
They
So,
were handing them out.
for sure. But it was
What do you think they were drinking? What do you think the day drink of the choice of the golfer is at the Masters?
dare we say it, Tom Collins.
Perhaps.
I mean, if you're in the clubhouse, whatever, I mean, you're probably swigging back a beer. I mean, John Daly, he was he there? I'm not sure.
Do you think it's like a long drink? Do you think it's like they're doing the canned drinks now, like the long drink, or like the?
Yeah, I'm sure it's light, refreshing. I mean, we're going to talk about too at one point, like the prominence of the adult seltzers. I'm sure there was a lot of high noons on the greens of Augusta.
Well, yeah, they refer to them as nooners.
True,
A lot of nooner references this week.
Yeah, the golden hour.
Did you watch the Happy Gilmore trailer?
I did. I'm looking
forward to
to
that.
it. Yeah, I was in a golf text with some of the owners of pubs here, and everybody was putting 20 on their 5, and I was just fictitiously used AI to generate probably the most 5 famous golfers of movie lore.
I saw that. You
Yeah.
posted that on the group, right?
I did. If you haven't checked out the group, facebook.com/Vegas Day Drinkers Club. I think I was just telling you before we started recording that we're just shy of 500. So a little bit of a landmark, but we're going to keep growing it.
Well, yeah, of course, that's the goal.
Woke up yesterday to the information that former wife of Steve Wynn, Vegas icon, casino mogul, Elaine, passed of a relatively short illness at 82 years old yesterday.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at 82,
Yeah,
it's unfortunate.
You definitely have more days behind you than you do ahead of you. But again,
we talked about Steve Wynn in a prior episode. I think it's a shame. It's just an icon. Gone.
Yeah, and I guess the strip was dark last night in honor of her.
Oh, really?
They turned off the lights as a quick homage.
I went to McMullen's last night to say hi to a friend and to watch the video. We'll go and it's pretty crazy.
We'll save face.
Yeah. But I noticed that the Orleans was dark. I was like, why is the Orleans dark? And there was a picture of Elaine Wynn on the billboard. So there you go.
Yeah, I think one of the more popular tweets, if it was Las Vegas locally or Vital Las Vegas, as somebody said this morning, if they did that for her, what will they do for when Steve Wynn passes?
Yeah. So, well, she was still the largest. She was the largest shareholder. Yeah. He's been taken out.
Right.
Because of his indiscretions.
Which I believe he currently resides in Florida, and she was living in Los Angeles. So neither one of them are primary residents in Las Vegas anymore. But when you have that type of money, the world is your oyster.
Yeah, you get to do what you want to do.
So never met her, but my buddy Gray Cook that used to visit me at Steiner's knew her pretty well because he's one of those day one employees, and he said, quote unquote, Laney. I don't have the privilege of calling her that, but take care, Mrs. Wynn.
Cheers.
Transitioning into that, did you see the front load of the weekend that will be not only Easter's this weekend, He Will Rise Again for all you biblical folk, but WrestleMania invades Las Vegas.
Going to be turning the water into Miller Lite.
Yeah.
Insane.
So the main event is Sunday, but I think events start tomorrow, Thursday, as we record this, and it goes through next Monday.
Isn't John Cena and The Rock bad guys now or something like that?
John Cena, I think, is a bad guy now.
What about The Rock?
I don't know if he's going to be here, but I think the main dude right now is a Cody guy. I feel like we need to have Adam here as a consult.
Yeah, we should.
We should have. Woulda, coulda, shoulda.
Yeah.
But I was reading that they're going to have events. The main event will obviously be at Allegiant Stadium, but they'll also have ancillary events Friday, Saturday, Sunday at T-Mobile. And then they'll have the fan experience at the Convention Center starting tomorrow also. Nice. So they said that they estimate that the wrestling folk in the crowd over the weekend will bring in about $200 million in revenue for Las Vegas.
It's on par with Super Bowl, essentially, right? I mean, ticket prices aren't going to be as high, but
well, yeah.
Attendance-wise.
Who was looking up yesterday? They said, I think they were looking up minimum, like upper level, like 500. So not Super Bowl prices per se, but not $50 either. So again, John Cena, potentially a bad guy. Like, I guess when we chop this up in Opus, if we are making mistakes with wrestlers' names, I'm sure some of the people that will respond will let us know.
Yeah. I've been known to make a mistake here and there.
Yeah, and are you gonna swing over to McMullen's Sunday for the roast?
Sunday roast? No, because by the time I get there, all the good stuff will be gone. But it sounds good though.
The trimmings, as we like to say.
Yeah, because you gotta. So if you ever go to McMullen's, you got to get there 3:00 if you want the good stuff. By the time I get there at 8:00, the beef's a little dry, and all the pork and it's probably the beef and the pork are probably gone.
Yes.
You get a little bit of lamb, maybe.
Right.
Dried out lamb.
Lamb, beef, and pork, right?
Yes, sir.
Little Yorkshire pudding, whatever.
Hell yeah.
So what we were going to talk about last week, it's past, but it's great. Like, it's almost as if the weekly's writing articles now that are going to be like social media clickbait worthy. They came out with a 50-ton lion and other interesting statistics of the Las Vegas Strip. I'm just going to read some of these and get your opinion. There was Resorts World has 100 trees left over from the Stardust, the legendary casino resort that closed on the North Strip site in 2006.
Rest in peace, Stardust.
Southern Live Oaks, Mondale's, Aleppo Pines. Do you know where Aleppo's at? Mesquites, Mediterranean fan palms, and other salvage trees were nurtured on site nursery for nearly 15 years until finding their new homes when Resorts World opened in 2021.
Well, those trees fully grown are not cheap, so it's probably cheaper for them to nursery them than it was to actually buy new ones.
Yeah.
So, good call.
Fun fact, the Sphere, we've both been.
Yes, sir. We went to the very first show.
Yeah, U2 opening night.
Yep. You got me $100 ticket. I'll never forget it. And the guys next to me, tripping balls on mushrooms. I asked them, they're like, less U2, more Sphere shit. They paid $1,600 individually.
Oh, and
individually.
And their eyes did not lie. They were so out of it, but into it.
Yep.
At the Sphere, it took 11,520 isosceles triangles forming the 366-foot tall mega venue's exoskeleton.
Impressive.
Yeah.
Actually, you and I were talking about it, not on the show, but the current Sphere in Las Vegas will be the largest Sphere. They have downsized any plans to continue. So future Sphere will be under 8,000?
5,000.
5,000 seats. Ours is 17,000.
Yeah, for them to say to maintain profitability, any future Sphere in the world will be 5,000 seats. So we will nearly have tripled that. And once again, a unique Vegas experience.
Yes, and if those of you that may not have seen the news, this Christmas they will be airing a new version of Wizard of Oz that's been Google enhanced.
Is it Christmas?
It's going to be around Christmas season.
Okay, I know they're getting ready for Kenny Chesney, who will be their first country artist in the Sphere this summer.
Yes.
I know we all have our baby Carlos moments, and we all like to laugh about the Hangover. Do you know how much it cost at Caesar's Palace to rent the Hangover suite?
I'm going to say $1,200 a night.
Take a wild guess again.
Let me look.
I forgot he doesn't have the height.
$3,500 night. $3,500.
That's plausible. I mean, that's,
I mean, if you want to have a hangover experience.
That's two loaded 7 spots,
I mean, those rooms are meant for whales. And if you're willing to pay for it, great. But what they really want is they want somebody coming in and gambling $100,000 bets. And then,
of course.
And then giving it to them for free and saying, hey, you want to stay in the hangover suite? That's what it's there for.
Do you know that they serve approximately 540 eggs during a typical brunch at Cosmopolitan's Wicked Spoon?
That sounds plausible, yeah.
I think that seems light.
Yeah. So do I.
I don't know if they've reduced the eggs or something or not.
Well, they probably have a ration. They're like 1 egg per guest, please.
Yeah, true. And then it was 11,000 tons of stone and marble were used to build the Palazzo.
I've heard that it's actually bigger than the actual.
This is quite refreshing.
Yeah. What's the walkway? It's the Palazzo. The Palazzo, right?
Yeah.
Is that what it's called in Italy?
Oh gosh, I forget.
Yeah. I've been to the original and I've been to the one in Las Vegas. Both very impressive.
There are more than 25,000 books lining the shelves of the Nomad Library restaurant at Park MGM.
Very nice.
I've dipped in there a couple times for a cocktail before a game.
It's very nice, yeah.
I'm going to go on record and say that Stephen Rafferty has not read one of those books.
Fun fact, during Lady Gaga's stint at Las Vegas at the Park MGM Grand, I had a friend that worked there, and she would go up there sometimes, and she would sing to the crowd, and because her one of her college friends was the piano player up there.
Okay.
And so I told him, I'm like, hey, if she ever shows up there, like on my day off, and you're working, you text me. So he texted me, went in there, saw her sing with said piano player. Yeah, pretty cool. Very cool. And she was drunk. I want to say very drunk.
It happens.
Yeah, I saw some things.
So as we are about to report another statistic of the Strip, it brings the age-old question and a variation. Was it the chicken or the egg first? If the I
thought we found that out when we went to the chicken ranch, Chris.
What episode was that? Over the Hump to Prompt. The 11-acre Mandalay Bay beach contains more than 2,700 tons of sand, which begs to differ. Do you bring sand to the beach?
It grosses me out because I'd like to think how many tons of human skin cells are in that as well.
Yeah.
I wonder if they filter it.
Is that a spritzer of bleach?
Yeah, it's just. I mean, it's neat and all, but like it's disturbing.
Right. How many fountains are there on the fountains of Bellagio?
I have no idea.
More than 1,200.
1,200.
Including 780 mini shooters that blast water up to 250 feet in the air and super shooters that reach heights beyond 480 feet.
Really?
Yeah.
I got to say, Disney one-ups the Bellagio water show. Just saying, their water show has lasers, lights, and it also has flames.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll start we'll start to wrap this segment up, but do you know that when Las Vegas employs 3 falcons to deter nuisance birds around the property?
That makes sense.
I would have gathered that with nuisance birds would be starts with a P and ends with an N. Pigeon?
Pigeons, crows, for sure. Well, they have that lovely lake out back. A lot of people don't know that, but the lake features a show. And, most people that I talk to, most tourists, I'm like, have you ever heard of Parasol Down? And most people don't know what that is.
Yeah.
And if you want to go on a great date night, or if you want to just impress your lady, take her to Parasol Down for a show. It's the best free show in Vegas now.
You think so?
I know so.
Okay. Well, you and I drive up and down Blue Diamond quite often as an access point to work or each other's homes. Did you see that right there by Star Nursery, they just opened the first Zaxby's?
Yeah, you
Las
mentioned
Vegas.
that earlier. We have the chicken trifecta now, or multifecta.
What's your other two?
My favorite? I don't much do it, but I think I'm just saying with your favorite, which is crispy crunchy chicken.
Yep.
Right? And then I'd say Raisin Cane's. Those are my two
Raisin
favorite.
Cane's, yeah.
Now, my friend Todd would say that chicken really is a vehicle for sauce. And so he's all about the sauce.
Okay.
So you got to have a good sauce. And you know what? I'm a big fan of Raisin Cane's. Zaxby's
open, and their sweet spot, if you will, apparently from reading, is chicken tenders and chicken wings. But also in the trifecta, maybe going into a rectangle, it would be Mr. Bojangles that just opened, like literally half a mile down from Zaxby's on the opposite end of the street.
Yeah.
Now I came to find out as I got we
got a Church's, a Popeyes, a Cane's, a Zaxby's, and Bojangles, all within probably 2 mile, 2 or 3 mile area.
You said the one crispy chicken. My nickname for that one's Cluck and Fuck. So,
is that what you do when you get home with the lady? You're like, I want to have a good time, so we're going to Cluck and Fuck.
Then let's go back to the beach and have some sand.
That's right.
But that just opened, and I found out Mr. B's, as they're rebranding out here anyway, they're not doing the salted ham breakfast sandwich.
Really?
Which I guess is a back east and southern favorite. And then they're going away as a company brand into their western expansion away from the bone-in chicken. So for some of the zealots that appreciate it from back east and the south, I'm sorry to report.
Bummer. I want to transition real quick. Can I transition real quick? I was watching social media, as I do. There's been a big to-do about there's a Mr. Beast experience at the Resorts World this week. And I guess it's been a complete just bomb. And there's people hanging out in the lobby complaining, and I see a bunch of videos of just people not happy at Resorts World.
Did you see that on the X or Twitter?
I saw it on both, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because we talked about it
on a
previous episode, and I think in that episode we talked about how they were labeling, like you said, a Mr. Beast experience with the potential to win a grab bag full of goodies, and it was a 3-night minimum. And so they kind of talked about how they brought in a new president or some, titled person. And I thought, okay, maybe I talked to my buddy Galdo about this morning about, okay, maybe they're turning the corner and they're trying to get a different, age group or demographic. But was he even here? Was Jimmy even here?
No, as far as I can tell.
So I can't imagine that. I mean, that has to be a licensing issue, right?
I have no idea. I have no idea. I just know that it's it's on par with I don't want to say Fire Festival, but it's on par with just a terribly botched event.
Yeah, and Steven and I also talked to for the point about obviously Vegas Policy Casino Comp Wallet already has a firm erection for Resorts World, and I'm sure it's just ready to dig in.
Well, apparently he was allowed back in, and nobody told security, and he went in, and they threw him out again.
Yeah, I did read, because I did see the concerned mother that had gotten a ticket for her daughter. Her daughter purchased it, 21 years old.
Yeah.
And
for those that don't know, Pauly C is a TikToker, influencer, big time gambler anyway here in Las Vegas. He used to be from New York City. Anyway,
but going back to the Mr. Beast experience, that fundamentally for the juice wasn't worth the squeeze, and the dynamic for the casino, once again, they just kind of seem to drop the ball.
No amount of Beast bars are gonna make this better.
Yeah, well, you and I both like Prof G, Scott Galloway. I was listening to his podcast last week.
Yep.
What do you think of the potential onslaught of private clubs in Las Vegas as they're starting to boom here in New York and London?
I just think so. I want to say this. It means that there's not going to be any more mingling between the rich and the poor. It makes everything more. It's not good. You need to have that like mix. Otherwise, it kind of breaks down society. Society is this thing where we all kind of agree on the way things are going. And right now, I think that society as a whole is kind of on the outs. So
yeah, where you're going to pay anywhere between $5,000 and $30,000 a year just as a membership fee, and then a recurring fee a month.
They call it the Netflixification of everything. So there's going to be a tier, for each and everything. So there'll be a rich tier, there'll be a poor tier.
Yeah.
So.
And unfortunately, it's not like you're going in there and getting an old fashioned for a reduced amount. You're basically paying to be posturing, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think sure, it makes it cool, and it makes it cool if you can get in there. But I think ultimately, it's a bad idea.
I guess a new one in New York just opened. It was called the San Vicente Bungalows. There's another one that's a hot spot. They're called the Chez Margot. And then the Tao Group guys, Jason and Noah, operate one called the Crane Club out there. So
sure.
At one point before Tao Las Vegas sold to MSG, dollar per square foot was the most successful restaurant in the world. Tao was.
Hey man, it'll make for great inbreeding.
Get out your Punnett Square.
Yeah, exactly. So. Exactly. We got to wrap it up.
I know. Let's finish it up. So Cheers, episode 11. Did you watch?
Of course.
One for the books.
Yep. I watched it like last week though. So
yeah, two different characters.
Refresh me.
Two different characters. You had a World War II veteran who was doing a meetup.
Yep.
And then you had a, dare we say, virgin that was going to go into the monastery the next day.
That's right.
That was looking
that character was funny
for his first drink. And then you also had, as an homage to the title of this episode, Diane had a notebook in pocket looking for snippets of America, quotes that you would just hear in the day-to-day of the bar banter.
That made me think about a lot of the things I've heard over the years at bars. And for the life of me, I should have written them down because I can't think of one right now. But we need to focus on that and have a segment where we talk about things we overheard at the bar.
Well, I'll tell you one segment I heard at the bar just Monday because it just made me quite happy and appreciate Maker's Mark.
What's that?
I had a couple, dare I say, Whiskey Tango that came in. Yeah. And we feature items from our neighbors, Jersey Mike's and Nathan's. And they asked me when I was taking their order if they can have the burger medium. And I said, unfortunately, they were a fast serve restaurant in the airport, and it's a flat top grill. It's a flat top oven, not a grill. Uh-huh. And we cook all our temperatures to well done. And he goes, can you request that? And I said, I can request it, but I know the answer, it's going to be no. I said, you're more than welcome, whatever. But they just weren't having it because I told them I wasn't going to go back and do that because I already know the answer because I've worked there for 4 years.
Yeah.
They go sit in the server section, tell her that I was rude because I wouldn't go request that.
Of course.
And she repeated what I had told them previously. But then he highlighted to her that he was missing his 2 front teeth, of which I responded, well, Jesus Christ, Taryn, if he would have told me that, I didn't tell him I was part of a Christmas song. And then at least I would have had, rudimentary rude. All right. I think that's a wrap up. You got to get to some things. So don't forget to Sip, Socialize, Shine, episode 18 in the books. We'll see you guys out there. Hey, we got some stickers too, real quick.
Stickers. We're working on some promos that we're going to be doing starting soon. Watch us on YouTube. Remember to subscribe. If you haven't joined the Facebook group, definitely join the Facebook group.
And so if you hit us up on info@ddclub.vegas, that again is info@ddclub.vegas. I will mail out some to you, and please go.
And definitely message us if you have anything you'd like to see or do or want to know about me or Chris.
And as much as we want them on the back of your laptops, if you want to go out and brand them in said bars that allow branding in bars of places of interest like that, that would be great. Help us spread the word.
That's right.
Thank you.
Yep.
See you next time.
Take care.